Chrissy Lamkin didn't just break down. She was shattered, and the man responsible for it all, Cameron, was responsible for one audio leak. One terrifying voicemail, and the entire foundation of her world fell apart in real time. There were no edits or cuts, just pure chaos. The leak wasn't messy. It was devastating, bringing up secrets Chrissy had been burying for years. When Jim Jones heard it, he didn't argue or ask questions. Instead, he left the house without a second thought. It's not just reality TV anymore. It's a complete collapse of the most contentious love story in hip-hop, complete with lies, betrayal, hidden messages, and a connection between Chrissy and Cameron that no one saw coming until now. You're about to hear the part they don't want going public, and once it's out, there's no turning back. And TV drama is over, and sources say it's not just because of the leak. It's what the leak confirms. A scandal that's been simmering for years. A betrayal that goes deeper than anyone could have anticipated. Chrissy Elkin is crying over a leaked video of Cameron and Jim Jones. Just got up and left like he was done with the whole damn saga. Baby, what's going on behind closed doors? Because this isn't just messy. It's radioactive. Let's not pretend that this is just another love and hip-hop meltdown. No, it's much bigger. We're talking about betrayal secrets that were never meant to be seen, and a triangle that may not just be romantic, according to dangerous sources close to the matter. A private video purportedly taken years ago has just surfaced that shows Cameron and Chrissy in what appears to be a very intimate setting. Candles are lit, whispers are being exchanged, and there is no sign of Jim Jones anywhere in sight. The timing of this leak is terrible because, depending on who you ask, Jim was supposedly finalizing some sort of commitment to Chrissy, either another proposal or a full-on elopement situation, when he abruptly left during a private dinner and hasn't returned any. One insider told us that Chrissy hasn't stopped crying since the footage went viral, even though she didn't know it existed. She's claiming that it's not what it looks like, but Jim saw it and said, "I can't do this any more." Really? Can you blame him? The footage is grainy and blurry, but the voices are clear as day, and the chemistry is unmistakable. Chrissy's face is devastated, but this is where it gets even wilder. Cameron hasn't denied it. In fact, hours after the video began going viral, he posted a mysterious tweet that said, "Something should have stayed between us. Not between y'all, not between friends. No us." That tweet alone has sparked a digital firestorm, and now people are wondering if this leak was an accident, or if it was a calculated retaliation or a last-ditch effort to get attention, because, let's not forget, Cam and Jim haven't been close for a while. There is history, old wounds, and some even assert that the divorce fallout had a lot more to do with Chrissy than either of them acknowledged. Let's go back in time to the early 2000s, when Cameron, Jim Jones, Chrissy Lamkin, and everyone else were living the fast life with the glitz, fame, and street clout of Harlem. Chrissy was always there, first as Jim's girl, then as his ride or die, and finally as a person who held him down when no one else would. However, there were rumors that Chrissy wasn't always Jim's alone, and although nothing was ever confirmed, fans noticed the tension, side eyes in backstage footage, and shady remarks in interviews, and even said on a "keep your chick close, or she might end up with a ghost" mixtape. People thought it was just bars, but now it sounds like prophecy. When Love and Hip Hop entered the picture, Chrissy became more than just a plus one. She was a main character, a fire starter, and the emotional center of that entire empire. Remember when she proposed to Jim on national television? It wasn't just romantic. It was history, a woman stepping up, defying roles that demanded commitment. But behind that moment was a lot of pain, years of feeling unclaimed and unsupported, pushed aside, and now it seems like all of her strength and effort just blew up in her face with one leak. However, this is where things get sinister. According to a verified source from a Love and Hip Hop production team, there were scenes on unseen tapes that never aired where Chrissy allegedly hinted at a deeper connection to Cam, and there were things she said that didn't make it to air. The source claimed that she became emotional and that she felt abandoned by everyone in that circle, with the exception of one person whom she never named, but who we all knew who she meant. Boundaries. What if Cameron was more than just the friend who supported her? Jim has been eerily silent, posting no tweets or Instagram stories, which is unsettling for someone as outspoken and reactive as Jim. Some claim he's hiding in Miami, while others believe he's scheming. In any case, his silence is loud, and fans are analyzing every frame of the leaked video as if it were the Zapruder movie, slowing it down, enhancing the audio, and comparing tattoos to old pictures. The internet has turned into a massive crime lab, and the verdict isn't looking for Chrissy. Yet, the timing is more important than the video, Chrissy. Just last week, she was on a podcast discussing second chances, trust, and how she was finally ready to start a family. She said, "Jim and I are stronger than we've ever been." Who would have thought that she would wake up to this betrayal? It's not just personal. It's public, and hashtags are flying about Chrissy cheating on Cam and getting receipts free of Jim Jones, which, incidentally, makes no sense but is trending anyhow. But wait, there's more. A DM purportedly saying, "What if I told you Jim's girl was mine?" was sent months ago from Cam's burner account to a well-known gossip page. At the time, it was laughed off and deleted, but now it's being screenshotted, reposted, and dissected like gospel. And everyone is wondering if it was a slow-burning plan, a time bomb that would explode when it hurt the most. Mona Scott Young is probably laughing while sipping tea, planning the reunion episode of a lifetime, the kind of drama you can't write. But maybe you can, or someone did, because of one theory. There are rumors circulating that this entire scandal was staged to get clicks, contracts, and influence. But if that's the case, someone neglected to inform Chrissy that her tears are real and her breakdown is authentic. Several eyewitnesses claimed that she had a complete panic attack during a meeting, hyperventilating, shaking, and yelling. "I didn't do this." Her legs weakened. She sat at the edge of the room, and if that's acting, give her an Oscar. Chrissy was transfixed. The quiet between them seemed like thunder, and every breath she drew sounded like betrayal reverberating off the walls. The video that Cameron released was not only messy, but it was also nuclear. It contained purported voicemail recordings from years ago in which Chrissy, in a heated voice, seemed to regret ever being loyal to Jim, and worse. She hinted at a backup plan that had been in place all along. Fans were quick to analyze every word, even matching the audio tone to Chrissy's previous clips on Love and Hip Hop. The velvet couch was silent, clutching her phone as if it had just killed her dreams. Over time, and to make matters worse, Cameron posted it with a message that sent everyone into a frenzy. The comment section exploded, and Chrissy was plotting the entire time. Jim had been faithful to the wrong person, and Cam had always claimed that they were fake. Now that he had proof that it wasn't just rumors and gossip anymore, this was character assassination in 4K. Meanwhile, insiders claimed that Jim Jones had left their home in a black SUV with tinted windows, his face expressionless, and he hadn't sent Chrissy a single text since the clip dropped. A blog that leaks dubious receipts shared a screenshot of what they said was an old text exchange between Chrissy and Cameron, in which Chrissy allegedly said, "If this goes left, I know you got me. You always had me." Cam replied with a cunning emoji, "I got you, like I always did. They just don't know." The silence was louder than any scream. Wait, what are people doing? At this point, the blogs weren't just reporting. They were reloading gossip channels and setting up exclusive interviews with alleged friends of the couple. One anonymous source, posing as a hairstylist for Chrissy's friend circle, spilled tea in a now viral TikTok. "Let's just say I've known. Something wasn't right. You can't love someone and still flirt with the enemy." Chrissy used to giggle when, while Chrissy remained silent on social media, Cam's name surfaced as if he wasn't her man's op. Jim Jones unfollowed both Chrissy and Cameron on Instagram, perhaps out of pettiness, telling everyone, The industry began to react when Mona Scott, executive producer of Love and Hip Hop, posted a mysterious message with some truths, followed by what appeared to be indisputable proof. A resurfaced 2007 photo of Chrissy and Cameron in a private backstage scene with Cam's hand resting low on Chrissy's waist and her face too close to his ear. The image had been disregarded in the past, but now it was being used as the last piece of the puzzle, and even celebrities began to weigh in. For example, Remy Ma commented under a blog post that said, "Disloyalty will cost you everything." The backlash wasn't just digital, it was also financial, as several brands Chrissy had partnerships with began to distance themselves from her, including a luxury wig brand she recently promoted, archived all of her collapsing posts, and canceled one jewelry line. Jim, according to sources close to the rapper, has been in Miami completely off the grid with no studio sessions or public appearances. Not even spotted at his usual cigar lounge. When a fan posted a blurry photo of him at a South Beach hotel, his expression looked drained, like a man betrayed on every level. By day 4 of the scandal, public sympathy started shifting, and Chrissy, who was once thought of as the ride or die, was now branded a mastermind meme. Appeared with titles like Plot Twist Queen, The Real Reason Jim Never Married Her, and Chrissy, the unseen villain of Dipset. The drama was reaching new heights when Cameron hinted at releasing a second leak, this time involving paperwork. That would wrap up the story, but Chrissy remained silent and unaccounted for every minute. The internet added 10 more layers to the conspiracy. And just when things couldn't get any worse, a new rumor began to circulate that suggested Chrissy might have been the one who persuaded Jim to sever his relationship with Cam in the first place, sowing the seeds of Chrissy's name trending for the 6th day in a row on gossip pages, reaction videos, podcasts, and even late-night talk shows. But while the world feasted on the fallout behind closed doors, Chrissy was cracking like never before years ago, all to control the narrative and protect her own secrets. Now, the question wasn't if Chrissy was guilty, but how much of Jim's life had been manipulated by her lies. Chrissy reportedly locked herself in a remote Hamptons estate, avoiding the media and even cutting off contact with her closest friends. One anonymous stylist revealed to a gossip website that she isn't responding to anyone, not even her mother, and she is crying all day. The house is filled with broken glass and makeup smeared on her sheets, and there is a sinister vibe to it. Despite her breakdown, the public showed no mercy and was eager for more, and Cameron knew exactly how to provide it. Cam returned to Instagram exactly 1 week after the initial leak. In a second live stream, the man teased a document folder called the Final Straw PDF, while thousands of fans filled the chat with "Drop it and finish her." He didn't say anything for the first 30 seconds and simply stared into the camera, nodding. Then he said, "You all wanted answers, so say less. Let me tell you why Jim stopped believing in teams, why Dipset failed, and why loyalty is a farce in this business." He displayed 2 ancient, fuzzy pictures on the screen, but what they seemed to send social media into a complete meltdown. One picture showed Chrissy sitting next to a mystery man in a dimly lit lounge with his arm draped over her shoulder. Chrissy's eyes were closed and she smiled. Another showed a time-stamped security camera screenshot of a hotel room door. 5 minutes later, the mystery man entered and Chrissy followed. The camera didn't reveal the man's name, but Twitter did, and within an hour, Chark Mystery Man was trending with rumors about who it was. Some claimed it was a well-known music industry executive. It didn't matter what was true. The damage was done. The story had already been rewritten. And it got worse when a third anonymous source claimed to be a former assistant to a rival rapper who had once disparaged Jim Jones in a 2015 song. The most outrageous theory was that it was an A-list actor who had been secretly connected to Chrissy during her time in LA, and that she wanted half of his business. A lady who sounds uncannily similar to Chrissy is heard in a voice note that Mona Scott published saying, "Cam knows too much. him to never say a word. If he flips, I'm done. Jim will leave me for real. This Timmy?" The voice wasn't verified, but no one seemed to care. The video went viral, making headlines as Chrissy's last admission. Reddit threads garnered over 3,000 comments in less than 2 hours. And fans started creating in-depth movies detailing Chrissy's alleged manipulative techniques. When We Fly High came on, the crowd began chanting "Chrissy F. Chrissy." And Jim Jones didn't say a word, just closed his eyes. Some said he looked like he was praying, while others said it looked like he was reliving every lie in slow motion. Years later, Jim Jones made a solo comeback to New York at a club appearance he had been booked for months prior. But he didn't rap or perform. Instead, he stood in the VIP area, arms folded, sipping a drink. By friends after having a panic attack that almost sent her to the emergency room. According to a nurse who spoke to a tabloid anonymously, her blood pressure dangerously soared, making it difficult for her to breathe. She kept sobbing, "He hates me. He'll never forgive me. It's over." The collapse was nearly unrecognizable for someone who once led New York's most dangerous circles with unwavering confidence. And just when the public believed it could get any more toxic, a fourth party entered the mess: Mama Jones. Jim's outspoken, unfiltered mother is known for telling it like it is, went live on Facebook and verbally and emotionally dragged Chrissy by her weave. "I was told that she wasn't right, and you called me a hater. You think I didn't see the little sly glances and the private conversations? Now, you see what I saw in the comments, and savage Mama Jones was right all along. This woman tried to protect her son, and you all made fun of her. Don't miss it." It was the last nail in Chrissy's public image. The ride-or-die turned backstabber. The woman who waited 20 years for a ring suddenly appeared to be the reason she never got one. It's game time. So it wasn't just about betrayal. It was about rebranding history. Meanwhile, brands weren't just severing their ties with Chrissy. They were suing one fashion collaboration, demanding their $60,000 advance back, claiming image damage. Mona Scott was allegedly planning to re-edit and re-release old Love and Hip Hop footage with new context. According to a leaked email that was obtained by a dubious media outlet. While Chrissy was still missing, someone close to her, allegedly, attempted to contact Jim with a handwritten letter that leaked to the Shade Room. It said, "I don't want forgiveness. I want the truth to stop being weaponized. I wasn't perfect, but I never meant to destroy you. I loved you even when I lost myself." Was it real or fake? Who knows? But fans were divided. Half felt sorry for her breakdown, while the other half said too late. Another partnership filed to stop Chrissy from claiming to be their ambassador. The man who had stood by her side through thick and thin, Jim, was seen days later without his engagement ring. If the rumors are accurate, record labels and streaming services are already contacting him to give his version of events in a full-length documentary series. Chrissy is still hiding in silence, and Cameron is still trolling. He posted one final meme with the caption, "Love doesn't pay attention." And with that, the internet crowned Cam the king of petty gem. With Chrissy the victim and Cam the roadmap for treachery with no regrets, just turmoil instead of closure.